Hello, and welcome to the Higher Expectations podcast with the Hier Advantage Real Estate. You'll hear from Ron, Josh, and Michael, a multi-generational family of real estate experts in Southern California. We'll uncover valuable gems and insights on how you can grow your wealth, enjoy life, and spread a little bit of positivity and inspiration along the way. I'm your host, Ron Hier, and my good friend, guest is
buddy.
Chris Spicher from Antelope Valley Florist.
Just wait out in the lobby.
A little bit about how we met. A long time ago, I met Chris at the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce.
Great place to meet people.
It is. It really is. And they had a show there that was called Minding Your Business. And Chris was the host of this. It's like a 30-minute show that aired on one of the local AM stations, right?
Right, yeah.
And he had me on after I met him at the Lancaster Chamber breakfast meeting, and we've been like great friends ever since. And so I thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you.
Good. So tell us a little bit about how you and your family got to the Antelope Valley.
Okay. 1953, my dad is looking in the ads, classified ads for a business opportunity, and he saw that someone had a little flower shop for sale up in the high desert.
Yeah.
And so he followed up. Dad followed up. He moved up here in 1953 and worked for a couple of months with this flower shop called Antelope Valley Florist, which was originally founded in 1941.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. And Dad worked, and he saw it was something he could do, and it was an amazing town where a 25-year-old person could come and build a house and get involved in the community and make a living doing something that required a lot of imagination.
Yeah.
So Dad was the imagination. He was also the numbers guy. So he got into it to make a living at it and was very involved in the community, as was Mom, as was even my grandpa, Elmer.
Wow.
Grandpa was very involved in Palmdale politics and forming the city way back in the 1960s.
Wow.
Elmer Spicher. So we're here, and personally, I love the place.
Me too. So right now, your shop is on Avenue J, just west of Low Tree. Where
Right.
did it start?
We were on Sierra Highway. There's a blue building now. It used to be R&R Racing.
Oh, yeah.
And next to us was the Elks Lodge, which then burnt down. And on the other side was a nursery owned by Lindsay Waddingham. So he was a wheeler dealer long ago. Crazy big people here in the Antelope Valley, jet jockeys and cowboy boots and developers, builders. It's a small town where you can know a lot of people real quick.
Right. And years ago, a lot of the industry, I'm going to call it that, was agriculture. So, and it still is on the outskirts of towns, quite a bit of agriculture, but that's where my family came in. They were almond growers and cattle ranchers and a few things like that. But and it was all spread out, still spread out, but it was much smaller back then.
Yeah, as you drive, especially, well, my world's more on the west side because it's a fun place to ride bicycles. But you see just vacant land out there, and a lot of that vacant land at one time was farms and ranches.
Yeah, right.
All the early pioneers, the folks that came here from all over the world to build things and grow things. And then somebody started building airplanes and testing airplanes, and we've got a couple of big economies here.
Right, for sure, which is really nice. It's really, a long time ago when the aerospace business was hot, the valley was really good, and then they would lose a contract or something, and then it was like boom or bust years ago.
Boom or bust.
But over time, it's really got to be a multi, I'm going to say generational, a multi-faceted business community, which is really nice.
Well, we're trying to branch out. I was going to say diversify, but more business to make the economy more stable.
That's it. So if you don't know exactly where our office is, it's on M4 and 10th Street West, and there's a giant building across the street, and that's the Trader Joe's Manufacturing Distribution Center, which is really nice for jobs and the local economy. And they have 1 million square feet under roof over there, and I thought, that's pretty cool. And,
Right across the street.
having it right across the street may not be the coolest part because there's a lot more traffic, but it's nice for the economy, and I like having that. I mean, more jobs, good paying jobs, and there's more coming, which is really nice.
Major corner, as are many of the intersections here, but it's really a good thing. It says good things about the cities, Lancaster and Palmdale, that they fought to get something of value on that corner. It was possibly going to be a storage yard, which, welcome to the Antelope Valley. And so this is a good thing for the Antelope Valley.
It is. It really is. So that's good. So getting back to your flower shop. So you've had that for a long time. And when did you get into the business? So your dad came over about 1953, 54.
Yeah. And he was not going to do that forever. There came a point after I finished college, he said, it's time to get to work. And either you can buy it or somebody else will. So that was in 74.
Okay.
1974. And I've been there since then.
Yeah.
But I always am quick to say, but I've traveled a lot. So it isn't like I've only been in the Antelope Valley. But, hope to see a little bit more of the world. So we have a flower shop, and it's Antelope Valley Florist. Some people call it AV Florist, which is okay. But like I said, visiting other stores, a lot of people don't even know where I am.
Yeah.
And I've been in that location. So I think we built that building in 1959.
Wow.
When we dug up the ground to lay the slab, we found a horseshoe. So
that's good luck.
There was somebody there. Yeah. And we've enjoyed that location. We built out by the new hospital. We have that nice marquee sign out front. The wishes people well, and it's for rent. And we have a lot of fun in the flower business, always meeting new people. So we have, probably 50% are repeat customers, and the other 50% are people that were driving down Avenue J or picked the third listing on the webs, on the browser.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of fun and creative,
Yeah.
Love family, love people, love to help out. It's always last minute. Rarely do people think, months in advance, this is what I need to do. So we're geared for that. In fact, we signed up with DoorDash because this is people that want it, now or 10 minutes ago, or we want it yesterday, and we're able to keep DoorDash happy.
That's good. So over the years, I'm sure you've had some big events or things like that people have said, hey, can you supply flowers or table decorations for our event? And you have any fun ones, special ones that?
Well, I'm probably going to save that. I'm going to make you buy my book.
Oh, okay.
But because it's in the book there. But the one thing I enjoyed, 1984, through connections on the LA Flower Market, I got to help with some Olympics setups, some of the places where the ABC affiliates would have parties on different days of the Olympics in 1984. So we're on the back lot at, one of the studios, and we're at Lorimar, and we're out at some golf course out in Santa Monica, and just setting up these huge parties for 1,000 people that came to town just to have a good time.
That's great.
Yeah. So that was a bigger scale, because usually it's a vase and flowers,
Yes.
This was something really big.
Had to coordinate that. So how do you have to coordinate that with a couple of vendors? I'm guessing that's a lot of flowers.
Yeah,
that's good.
And that's where I learned that there's money to be made in having a studio instead of a traditional flower shop. Ours is like, if you want a single rose, we can sell you a single rose. If you want a big bouquet, but we really don't get involved in huge setups. I don't do ladder work anymore,
That's good.
But a lot of that stuff was ladders and people running around. And we worked on a couple of New Year's floats.
Oh, that's
in
cool.
Pasadena.
Wow.
It's the coldest I've ever been in my whole life, and I've traveled in the snow quite a bit. But Pasadena at midnight, it's in January. It's cold. It's really cold, and building those floats, it's not a scale I really enjoyed. It looked good on my resume, but
that's awesome. I
wouldn't
know
want
that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I did learn where you get the best float glue. For like put the glue and daub the glue and put the flowers on to build a float.
Yeah.
So I made that connection.
Oh, that's good.
So we do some stuff over with animals at the livestock auction during the fair
Mm-hmm.
or whenever the auction is,
Yes.
and we need the glue so I go down and buy a gallon of glue
Yeah.
from my connections from 40 years ago.
So on the floats, they're all of the floats are made with like a vegetation of some kind, whether it's seeds and flowers and leaves and barks and things like that. So what kind of flowers did you supply?
I don't know. They
Anything
knew
they
with
wanted?
my vast experience. So I take a daisy
Yeah.
and I pull one petal off and I snip the end that was attached to the center of the daisy, and then I match the color. It's kind of a pink brown, and I'm doing a face of a character, and the face is like 4 feet across,
Yeah.
and it's covered with the sticky glue, and they're getting you to put little petals on.
One petal at a time.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Well, the labor's free, so
that's
you know.
impressive though, because that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of I think all of it's volunteer, right? Putting.
I think they have. It's a fundraiser for high school groups.
Okay.
But me at that time, so I was in my late 20s, but watching all these teenagers, having just too much fun. I just like, well, the one time was a good experience for me.
Yeah.
I could say I worked on the floats,
That's
and some
great.
people enjoy it, so it's like any vocation, right? Like you with real estate.
Yep. Sure.
If you love it,
Yeah.
you're doing it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, get somebody in here that loves to do it. And
Yeah. Otherwise,
you
it's a chore if you don't like it.
yeah, I don't want it to ever be a chore.
Yeah, that's good. I hope you're enjoying the podcast. If you're thinking about buying or selling real estate, or if you know of somebody thinking about buying or selling real estate, we would love to help them. Feel free to give us a call, text, or message us here. And now, back to the show.
So, yeah, lots of projects. And we used to do chili cook-off stuff up at Rosamond.
That was
And-
fun. Too bad they
Yeah.
quit doing that. Yeah.
Big corporations find you somehow, and they're going to use you. One time the Swiss came in, and they were doing a grand opening for one of the sites at Plant 42. And, I mean, there's like 3 of them there, and you could tell they were not Lancaster people, So I said, you make one, and I'll copy it because, don't hold my hand while I'm doing this. You go ahead and make it. And then the other time, 100 tables, and they wanted a white butterfly orchid and a tumbleweed. So
That's contrast.
Yeah, and it was beautiful. I had to go find 100 tumbleweeds, all kind of the same shape and size.
Depending on the time of year, that could be easy, could be hard.
That was the most expensive part of the project. Biggest check I'd ever seen.
Well,
But that doesn't happen every day, and that's just as well, because sometimes it's nice to keep it simple.
yeah.
Yeah.
So going back to your location on Avenue J, they do have a marquee out in the front, and there's quite a few people that drive by there every day, just because they're going to work or they're going somewhere, and they always glance up at that marquee because there's who knows what's going to be up there. It's a happy birthday to somebody or congratulations. I thought it was pretty cool to have that. I don't see there isn't anybody that I know of out here that's got anything like that. That's so local. That's
Right.
not trying to advertise, what, I don't know.
Well, it's just
that's
kind of
special.
boring to say roses $10.99. It's like, I see a cobweb up there. That's been there a while. So today it's about labor because we got Labor Day coming up, and just funny sayings. You watch a commercial and it says "Don't blink," and I go, "What a great marquee!
Yeah.
Don't blink." Maybe that might be political. I don't know, but
I don't know.
yeah, try not to offend
Somebody
anybody.
could twist it around. I don't know. You know what they should do? They should stop in. Stop
in. What does that mean?
Especially in the summertime, because if you stop in there, I'm pretty sure it's nice and cool. They've got some refrigeration in there where they keep the flowers. And
we'll let you sit
go
in the
take a
fridge for a couple hours. It'll cost you, but we can do it. Yeah, come in, check the place out, meet the people. Even if you don't buy anything, give me a 5-star review. That would be wonderful.
That's good. They should, because you've been there a long time, and you can't just be at any location for 50, 60, 70 years.
Yeah, how about that?
And that's pretty cool. Speaking of, a few years ago, there was a Antelope Valley Florist got an award as, I it's called Best Business of the Month, or something like that, from the
Right. One of the elected offices.
Yeah, I think that was pretty cool.
I think that's very cool. That gets the elected person out and about.
Uh-huh.
And just like you and I are doing here
Yeah.
on the podcast, you know, the sharp ones touch base with each other to, you know, enjoy the good vibe from each other.
That is good. And also because they just don't hand those things out. Like you got the best business of the month. That's what it was called. And I think it came from the senator's office. And I thought it was pretty cool. So I want to. That was years ago. I said, congratulations.
Well, it was like, it might have been like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then every year, we have the Antelope Valley Press, finding the best in each category. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you're involved in that.
Yeah. Did you win AV's best?
We did.
A few times?
Yes, we've won a few times.
Well deserved.
Thank you. It's always, that doesn't happen by magic. You can't buy it.
No, it's hard work, and a long time. It's being consistent with what you do, the products that you put out, and people know, like me. Even before I met you, I was ordering flowers from Antelope Valley Florist, and mostly, not always, I'll call in on the phone. Sometimes I just drive in, pick them up, and take them home. Yep, which is nice.
You can do it both ways. We have arrangements made up and ready to go.
Yeah, and you can call DoorDash if you want to.
You can have it delivered by DoorDash, which I think is pretty cool. And that gets the DoorDash driver in. Now they know where Antelope Valley Florist is.
Yes.
So, they can say, hey, and they don't wait there very long because we know they have to move.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to wait.
No.
They don't want to hear the story. They want that one. They need to go.
Right.
Nothing personal.
Right.
And so find out what the customer wants.
Yeah.
Prospective customer, see if you can make them a customer.
That's right. And so where do you buy your flowers? I know there's, so my mom lives in Carpinteria, and when I go over there's flower growers all over the place. But and I know as a florist, you can't drive all over the place to go get flowers. And you have gotten downtown?
Yeah, in the 50s and 60s, 70s, even into the 80s, we were making a weekly drive to the LA flower market. But that's not as much fun as it used to be. Mm-hmm. It used to be a big adventure. Get a big cup of coffee, and you're the only one on the freeway at 3 a.m. And so that was kind of neat. And you could see that you could actually get a price where you could put your markup on it and make a living, and the customer would still get value.
Yeah.
But that's all changed. Everybody's on the flower market.
Mm-hmm.
The public's allowed in there most of the time. Plus, you can walk into any supermarket here in the Antelope Valley, and they've got a flower shop 3 times the size of mine, with plants and and I guess they make money there, but it's just like markets have taken over the world, but now somebody's taken over the market's job, so it's just evolution.
And do you have flowers delivered to your shop?
They come up from LA. There's like 2 or 3 routes, and they come up on different days. And it's like yesterday, I'm listening to the phone call. Hey, I need blue roses today.
Mm-hmm.
I always think, wouldn't that be nice? I should have ordered them yesterday. So kind of a special order thing,
Uh-huh.
And maybe give me a little. I'm glad you're inspired. That's really awesome. Thanks for calling. You call the other 7 shops. Nobody's going to have blue roses.
Yeah.
And the guy would say, why don't you have blue roses? Because I get so few requests, and I'd rather keep it at the wholesalers and let him throw it away than me take it home to my wife, But Lourdes loves flowers, so I don't tell her where they came from.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
So a few years ago, I helped Chris and his wife sell a home over in Glendale. And
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Whew.
That was a good one. It took a little while. That was the city kind of slowed us down on that one.
Well, I think it says on the wall there that you have to take every listing that's offered you. Right?
We do.
You will take it because it's going to be so much fun. And don't make it look too easy because everybody will want to be a realtor. But that was almost like a personal favor. And when I got into it, oh my gosh, but you and I have done a couple other things, I think.
Yes.
And maybe I've given you a lead or two.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that.
So I'm going to put it back on you.
Okay.
With 2,000 realtors in the Antelope Valley, and many of them are very busy and very successful.
Mm-hmm.
How do you stand out? I mean, how do people find you?
Yeah, I'd say it is challenging because of the amount of realtors that are out there. But number one, I would say do what we do. Stay in contact with your clients, inform them, because that's what we like doing. We like teaching everybody that we come in contact with, whether it's a buyer or a seller, new things, how things work, why things work this way, and what to expect when an offer comes in, when you make an offer. And it is, the business is challenging. Working with people is a pleasure. That's what we like doing. Should have had my water. Anyway, the number.
Where's that assistant?
Well, I should have had that done earlier. Anyway, getting back, so it's being consistent, being doing the right thing. Okay,
Right.
Telling people what you're going to do,
Yeah.
and do it, and then have them say, I didn't know it was that complicated. And you won't know, a lot of times, that there's so many pieces. It's not like it's complicated. There's just a lot of parts that go into it. Because when I first started back in 1995, the purchase agreement was just evolving from a 2-page document to a 4-page document. And
Yeah.
now it's 15, 16 pages of just the purchase agreement. And then there's parts of that purchase agreement that have disclosures that are attached to the purchase agreement. If you want to,
This is why you hire a professional.
yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then years ago, when I was at one of the big brokerages, I was also the transaction specialist, not the transaction coordinator. So transaction specialist was the person that, while I was a realtor, so I was still helping people buy and sell houses, I was also doing this for the company, monitoring all of the transactions that were coming through the office to make sure the I's were dotted, T's were crossed, so that just in case it were to go to court, that we'd be covered, right? The broker would be covered.
Yeah.
And I did that for about, 4 years or so. And at one time, it's a funny thing. Thank you. That and I got paid a little bit for each closing, and they were going to reduce the amount of money that they were paying me. Like I said, it wasn't that much, but we did a lot of volume, so it was worth it for me. So it went for like $23 per closed transaction. And then it says, you know what, we had a budget meeting, Ron, and we're going to reduce yours from $23 to $19 a transaction. I go, it's news to me. Normally when they call me in the office, it's because somebody wants a check and they just completed their file. They want me to go file like this. And they want me to go through it and make sure all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, all the disclosures are there so that this agent can get paid. And I oblige. And this time was not that. It was, we had a budget meeting. We're going to cut your
Wrong place to cut.
So go $23 to $19. And I go, oh. I said, well, just by chance, I said, since I started, have you gone to court more often or less? Because when I review all of these documents, I want to make sure that we look good just in case. Yeah. And I know that as soon as someone has a question, they get an attorney and they go after the agent. They want to make the agent look bad, and they want to make the broker look bad. And the first thing they do is ask for a copy of the file and to see if there's any inconsistencies and things like that. And the guy that asked me, like, hey, we're going to cut your thing from $23 to $19. So I asked him that question. I said, you go to court more or less since I started doing this? He goes, never mind. I thought, should ask for a raise.
I make you thousands.
Yeah, I mean, going to court is just, I can't say it's a waste of time, but it's like, we know who makes money, right? The attorneys make money, and everybody else loses. So that's my perception for that particular thing. Not all the things, but
best to avoid court. Best to avoid it. But that goes back to like who you're working with. and some people are going to make it much easier. Yeah, so that's what we do. We dot the I's, cross the T's. We do an excellent job of marketing. We're really good on Facebook, Instagram, having the podcast now, because one of the things we like doing is educating people about what's going on in the Antelope Valley. Chris has been a business person, entrepreneur for a long time. He's got a ton of information about his business,
promoting good business. We haven't even gotten to your community involvement. We're going to get to that in a second. And it's just good to know all this stuff about the Antelope Valley and real estate, because there's other people that we've had in the business on the podcast that have businesses that are associated with just living, and a lot of it's connected with real estate. So I appreciate that coming in. So I'm going to answer that question. I forget. What was the question?
I think we were talking about the special knowledge that you have. And I think, people ask me some crazy questions, and I realize, I'm the go-to guy. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times, they're looking at a stunt flower. They're online. They're looking at a flower that doesn't exist. AI has done its thing and given it a color that you could probably work in a booth for a week trying to match that color or that type of flower. I said, to me, that doesn't look like a fresh flower. That looks like a silk flower. Go over to Michael's and buy about 6 stems, all at $20 each, and take it back to your house and cut and glue until you can match the picture. Now, I can't do that today.
Yeah.
And, it's just there's no money in matching some of those pictures. But if you have a picture that we have an idea, great. If we have some time, I start with what's your budget?
Yeah.
Because you're going to take an hour of my precious time.
Yeah.
Of course, if you didn't take an hour, I'd just be sitting there with nothing to do.
But there's a whole flower shop full of choices. So
yeah, that's what Dad would say. You got pink carnations. I think today you're selling pink carnations.
There you go.
And then we will go buy some more, And some of these flowers, they got to plant the seed and get it ready. So it takes a while. Mm-hmm. So we've perfected the technique of having roses when people want them, like Valentine's, Mother's Day. It's going to be busy. You better prepare.
Right.
But today, this is what we have, and we ask questions. We don't like saying no, So when they hung up, what did they want? Blue roses. And I even offered to tint them blue. I mean, it's like I put some thinking into it.
Yeah.
No, they needed blue roses. Did they want one or a dozen? They wanted one, and we have to buy them in 25s. They come in 25s. Sometimes they come in 10s, but like if we start sending out 10 roses, we're going to get like Cracker Barrel, major complaints.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I ordered a dozen. I didn't order 10. Well, the Dutch are into metric. So they're just doing 10 roses, not 25. So you're always educating, but most of the time they're just calling and asking. They're looking. They're going down the 7 flower shops, and someone hopefully will tell them yes, but we can't really point them in it. We can tint them blue, or we can order a couple days in advance.
Did you have a?
Thanks for letting me vent.
That was good. It's good information. The when we had our little grocery store out there in Little Rock when I was a kid, we belonged to a co-op. It was called Certified Grocers. Do they have something like that in the flower purchasing market?
We have through the years had some associations. The florists on the LA market developed a supply house because Michaels and Moscatels were coming in selling to the public supplies. So we developed a supply house, which did very well in the 60s and 70s, and then all of a sudden it wasn't making money. But the cool thing was that the AV Florist that started this corporation now own 2 buildings on the LA market, which are worth $4 million or maybe 5. So that's like, gee, that's kind of like an investment. We're not even in the supply business anymore, and most of those florists are gone. But the corporation owns the buildings, and we rent out. We make more money as landlords. Duh.
Wow, that's amazing. and that's they have like a.
But no co-ops of flowers.
Okay.
Just a lot of private companies that want to ship stuff. Not to interrupt you, but so I order 3 items online from Ecuador, and I get 3 separate boxes, sometimes delivered the same day, and it just drives you nuts. So a box came in, and you got to open it and process it. But that's not all you need for the order. The other box is coming tomorrow or tonight, or it's in the truck. So I'm not quite sure how that works.
Mm.
It's a brave new world.
It is. So when people call in and order, they can order online, they can call in, they can walk in, and they can, when they call in, do they ask for DoorDash? How does that part work?
They order DoorDash from the DoorDash website.
Oh.
We do nothing but supply beautiful flowers. So they have DoorDash has a menu of the 6 items that we're selling: 12 roses, 6 roses, and 3 sunflowers, a plush animal, a mixed arrangement, a designer's choice. They pick one of those and go through DoorDash, and DoorDash takes their percentage and sends us the order. And there's no monthly charge from DoorDash. Mm-hmm. There's no per item charge. And I go, oh man, don't tell anybody. I think I'm making money on this.
That's good.
It's fun to see flowers every day.
Yeah.
There should be flowers every day, I know standing orders and flowers on desks and thanks for this and thanks for that and appreciate you and some love stuff and all the different reasons that there should be flowers.
Yes. So going back to my introduction when I met Chris at the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce breakfast, one thing I remember him saying, and I thought it was so cool, and part of his introductory, he goes, "Say it with flowers." I thought, what a great idea. It's like, because if you're in trouble, you're not in trouble. You're doing, you're sending something to a loved one, to a mom, to a sibling. Congratulations. I mean, say it with flowers. Who doesn't like getting flowers? I thought it was pretty cool.
Well, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Many of those shows that we recorded for the chamber were videotaped. So Minding Your Business, Lancaster Chamber, or it might have even been AV Chamber at that point. Those 12-minute commercials are out there, 12-minute conversations.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about it. We had maybe like 900 different sessions through the 5 years that Jim Greenleaf and then Aaron Goldstein and I did it. And you didn't just want to have a recorded conversation. You needed the video with it. That's cool.
It was cool.
Some of those folks, they sent it to their mom, Look at this. I'm in a video.
I'm somebody. That's good.
And that was a benefit of membership in the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So in your career, have you ever come across any famous people, whether it's politicians or athletes or famous pilots? I don't know. Anybody come to mind?
Who was that lady that had the Happy Bottom Riding Club? Poncho Barnes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And what was she famous for?
She was an early aviatrix female pilot.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then she ended up living on the grounds of Edwards Air Force Base. She had a little bar hotel out there, and one of the general's wives didn't like her being there, made her move. The test pilots loved it, but so Poncho Barnes, and we've had a lot of cowboys, people who wear cowboy hats the whole day, not just for the fair.
Yeah.
And I think maybe I've met Ronald Reagan, at the airport.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
And a guy named Michael Deaver. His mom was still living in Mojave at the time. Michael Deaver was in the Reagan administration.
Okay.
He's on the phone, Mr. Deaver's on the phone. Hi, Mr. Deaver.
Uh-oh.
Send some flowers to my mom. I'm getting on an airplane. I got to go. Like, hey.
All right.
Yeah. So I think we did some stuff for Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Wow.
We lost a test pilot at Edwards. And President Johnson wanted to send flowers. A lot of people, you don't know who they are. There's a lot of people in the Antelope Valley who are very important and famous, and they just kind of fly under the radar, and that's just the way they like it.
Yeah. That's good.
They don't want, they don't want to be on the radio show. They don't want to do an interview. They're wonderful already.
Yeah.
and that's the beauty of the Antelope Valley. I mean, every day's a new and different thing.
Yeah, very good. So on one of your bracelets over there, it says, does it say AV Nice?
It does say AV Nice.
It is on the back side there.
Yeah.
What is the AV Nice all about?
Thanks for asking. It's patterned after Minnesota Nice, which is just people doing nice things for people, holding the door open, saying hello, picking up a piece of litter. In the Antelope Valley, we tend to make fun of ourselves, not in a good way. I mean, there's drugs everywhere. Yeah. There's bad drivers everywhere. Yeah. There's knuckleheads everywhere, everywhere. I don't think we have a corner on the market.
No.
But, we're in the desert. It's not the beach.
Right.
We can get to the beach. And some days we have beach weather.
Yes.
So we have clouds and we have some rain, not enough rain. But
I tell people, it's like, I like living here because I can go to the beach and I can come back.
Yeah.
I can go see a Dodger game. I can go down and see a play or something. And I don't have to live down there. I can come home and it's so, clean up here, right? We got fresh air.
Kind of quiet.
It's kind of quiet.
See stars.
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
People next door have horses. That's cool.
Yes.
And so that's called AV Nice. You got to change the conversation. People live here. They have their homes here. Their families are here. So you need to make like it's a nice place.
It is. I think I told you this once before. I'm going to go tell it again. I was born here.
Wow.
Well, my son, he's manning the board right now. Of course, he was born here. My mom was born here. My grandfather was born here. And my great-grandfather and his brother homesteaded out here in the 1880s. So I've been here a long time. If I wanted to go, I could go. Okay, but I like it here. All right? And some of my kids live here. One of them lives in Santa Clarita, which is really nice. And they want me to move down there. And it's like, I like it here.
You got a little time.
So, yeah, maybe someday. But I like it here. So, and my family's been here for a long, long time. And yours, too.
My wife was riding the bicycle this morning, and she's out on 110th West, and she goes, "What's the name of that street?" I said, Johnson Road. So who in the heck is Johnson?
I don't know. I don't know the Johnson Road. I know that
isn't that what it's called?
It is Johnson Road, and one further out is called Muntz Ranch Road. Right. I think a Muntz Ranch Road.
There's still a Muntz out there. Muntz
is that right? Because they were friends with my grandparents when I was a kid. I remember hearing that name.
It's got all that rusted tractors and stuff out there. I don't think he wants to let go of any of it. Probably use it as a movie set.
I could.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. You got a little cup there too. What is that little cup there?
Coffee with Chris. I just needed an event probably in October or November. Oh, I have a birthday in October, so maybe it's just.
Maybe so.
I got that beautiful operation over there, 1302 West J.
Yes.
And so I rent Aphrodisio, the taco guy, to come over. So we had the taco truck behind there. And that was a big expense, but I just do things kind of irrational sometimes because it's fun.
Yes.
So my son was in town, and there were 60 of us there eating tacos and drinking coffee. And then Marvin Chris showed up and gave us a speech, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a cool event.
Yeah.
It was nice.
From 6 to 9 in the morning. Why so early, Chris? I go, sunrise. It's beautiful.
It is.
Come at 9.
And it was protected. It was nice. It was good.
Yeah, we had a front door, a back door, parking, lots of free parking. The neighbors, Dr. Ellis, the new optometrist, he put a little money in towards the taco truck. Dr. Eric Shaver, who's second generation in that building, he put a little money in on the taco truck, and it was like taking good care of the neighbors and customers and claiming our neighborhood. I mean, that's a cool part of the world. You got to be careful with the shopping carts and the mattresses and the.
You keep that really clean over there.
That has been my lifetime project there, taking care of Avenue J. And I even, one time the city manager said, you could sponsor a street. And so I have sponsored that alley. There's actually has a sign at the Chris Spicher's alley.
Well, good. You take care of it, you should get some notoriety.
One guy said, Mr. Ballmer, the Chevron gas station guy, he said, Chris, all that dirt's just going to blow back. The wind's not always, but it blows often.
It does.
And it gives
we
us
can keep the trash out.
It moves it along.
Yeah, for sure. You did say something about the Minnesota nice. When a while back we were talking, you used to go on like a canoe ride up there, and I know you like going hiking. What was your favorite little trip, whether it was with a canoe or a hike or anything like that? What was
Well,
one of your?
I have one coming up in Spain next month,
Ooh.
Camino del Santiago,
Mm-hmm.
Way of St. James. So Lourdes and I are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But before that hike, I'd say my favorite, I had two long hikes, one with Gary Cothran. We walked along Hadrian's Wall, and this was built in 104 or so.
Oh,
And it's a wall that keeps the Scots out of Britain,
wow.
and the British said, we're trying to keep the Scots out of here. So you walk from coast to coast. It's about 85 miles. And there's hotels and
Wow.
hostels along the way. So I did that with Gary Cothran. And then last year for my birthday, Lourdes and I hiked Catalina from point to point.
Wow.
And that was like, people always ask how many miles. It's not the miles, it's the steep and the weather.
Yeah.
And there was no rain, but there was a lot of mist
Mm-hmm.
at Catalina, but just beautiful.
You see any buffalo?
Did see buffalo.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
See a buffalo out of Catalina.
I said, Ron needs to come on here and pet that buffalo.
I'll wave to it.
Pinch him to see if he moves. Yeah. Yeah, you do not want to get even close to those. Those are wild animals.
Yeah.
Dogs we've domesticated. Horses, they're used to humans, but buffalo, not so. And the same with moose. So I met a couple guys in a Sierra Club trip, and they were from Minnesota, and they had canoes. And every year they went to Boundary Waters and said, I've always wanted to do that. So I made friends with them, and I go out there and stay in one of their houses, and then the three of us put a couple canoes on the car and go up north to the Boundary Waters, and I've done like 15.
What do they call it, Boundary Waters? What does that mean?
Well, because it's on the boundary. I mean, it's kind of like the middle of nowhere, and it's all lakes and swamps and water, but boundary between the U.S. and Canada.
Oh.
You can. I've seen Canada from there.
Okay, right.
But the last sign before you turn off says Canadian border 6 miles, so you definitely want to be careful.
Uh-huh.
You don't want to wake up in Canada. But we've seen buffalo and beaver.
Wow.
Yeah, and the beaver, they try to scare you away. They flop their tail when you're too close to them.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, and being from the desert, I mean, water. How cool is that?
That's a lot of water.
It gets shallow there. I jump out, and I'm just like that movie with Humphrey Bogart, where he gets out and pulls the boat with a rope.
Yeah.
My Minnesota friends all they're doing is taking pictures. They're not going to get out in the mud. So then the mud sucked my boot off.
Oh, that kind of mud.
Then mud.
Yeah, that's
mud.
Yeah.
So what a great vacation.
That's some good memories.
Do Lourdes want to go? No way. It's just fun to get lost. Fun to enjoy life. Enjoy every breath.
That is great to get out there.
Yep.
And breathe that clean, fresh air, and just kind of leave the regular day-to-day stuff behind, and help clear the head and re-energize. That's really
something
good.
different.
That's good. So right now we're going to do something called a rapid fire. We call it quick pitch because I love baseball. Just a couple of quick little.
Okay.
There. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue. You know what? Mine is too. What's your favorite meal?
Pancit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, we're married to Filipinas.
That is amazing. Yeah. The
Pancit.
Pancit, that's like, that's a good one.
That's very small spaghetti.
Yes.
And then they put eggs and stuff in it.
Different things.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good one. Do you prefer desert, mountain, or ocean?
Oh,
Beach.
man. One of each.
No.
Well, last week it was the Blue Ridge Mountain up above Wrightwood.
Uh-huh.
And we're watching a fire helicopter pulling water out of the reservoir at the top of the mountain there and then taking it to a fire somewhere in Southern California. And so mountains are amazing. But they bring elevation, which is a whole different challenge.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, so above 8,000 feet, I'm not doing too good.
Well, it's up there. And if there's a fire nearby, probably not even clean air.
Tough to breathe. Well, then the beach, but it's amazing because the beach can be, and you're quite a beach guy, but you go down there going, oh, I'm just going to relax in the sun, and it's like 60 degrees, and it's cold.
Yeah.
That happens too, right?
Yeah. But I'm a pretty fair skin, and I wear my hat, I wear my shirt with the sleeves, I put sunscreen on. It's like, I don't want to get burnt at all.
I agree.
I love the sea mist.
Yeah.
I love the
a little
air.
salt is okay, but no sun.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's the luxury we have.
Right. We can go do any of that stuff within an hour.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice, right? So what is your favorite flower to work with?
Wow. I just usually say I like them all.
Mm-hmm.
I like them all. But I'm kind of prone towards sticks.
Just plain sticks?
Branches, sticks. Oh. I'm making a little Christmas window backdrop right now out of branches from my mom's Asian pear tree. Really prehistoric. These branches are, as big around as a coffee cup, and they've got a lot of little gray stubby. They look very prehistoric, and we'll see a picture of it.
Okay.
So
and
I like
part of a flower arrangement.
It's going to be. I made a stand because they have to stand up straight. So it's become a big project. I had to pull in a woodworking friend of mine. But curly willow, also a wonderful branch. It's bendable, and sometimes it's green, sometimes it's red. Anything that has some texture to it, some different colors. The branches are brown and gray. I like working with those as a prop to start your arrangement.
You could do just about anything, and like you said earlier, it's a creative business.
Very creative. Use your imagination. A guy, Ortiz, I think he's an insurance guy, Palmdale, Edgar Ortiz. He says, I just like making big arrangements. I said, but they never give you enough greenery in those arrangements. I said, you can go out in your yard. He goes, wow. Think about some of the different things that are out there in the yard that you could use for foliage, just to fill in between the flowers and the container.
Yeah, so, I have one that's it's like a little, I forget what it's called. It's like a half basket. It's attached to the wall. It was on my right next to my front door, and it was attached to the wall. And it's kind of like a mossy, I don't even know what it's called, but it holds the dirt in on the inside. You could put flowers in there.
Right.
And when I remember, when the other ones get dried up, I take different foliage from my yard and I put it in there. And it looks really nice for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of weeks, not in the summertime. But
sometimes
and it's kind of cool.
The container is the whole thing. You find the perfect container. I would do flower design classes through the city of Lancaster, and sometimes the first project would be bring a container you want to arrange flowers in.
That's good.
So they have 10 people in the class, and they all bring different peanut butter jar or grandma's crystal vase or somebody's basket or
bathtub.
A bathtub, maybe a small bathtub. Did you say bathtub?
I've seen them bathtubs with like all kinds of flowers or gardens in
The
them.
sky is the limit,
Yep.
And you really need to use your imagination.
Yeah, very good.
Any other questions?
I have just the best question.
Okay.
If someone wanted to get a hold of you,
Like a phone number?
a phone number, or how do they call? How do they find you online? How do they walk in the door? Where would they do? Where would they go?
avflorist.com, not AV Flowers, because there is somebody that took that.
AV Florist.com.
.com. You could even do a Google search for Chris Spicher.
Yeah.
1302 West J, right next to Low Tree. Website, Facebook. Facebook is good.
Yeah.
Antelope Valley Florist.
Very good. And that phone number again?
661-948-6006.
Awesome. We're going to put that in a link below so you can remember here, or you can check out the links that are attached to this with Chris Spicher. I want to thank you so much for coming in and let everybody else know. For higher expectations and higher standards, choose the Hier Advantage Real Estate Sales and Service. Take care. Be safe out there and have a great day. You're awesome, man. Thank you very much.